the Score North Twin Show.
Hello, Score North Twin Show. Hello, YouTube. Dex Tweets here. I'm live from my backyard patio. I was enjoying a great Saturday. Went to Home Depot. Made some nice little runs. Came home. Watched the Twins game. Bailey Ober. Cruising. Great game. They lost, the first game of the series and figured what could happen maybe on Saturday. There's Vinny. Where's Vinny? There's Vinny boy. And Bailey Ober's cruising. They're on cruise control. They get a couple early runs, 2-0. Retires 15 in a row. And then in the eighth inning, a collapse like none other takes place. Let's break down this collapse. By the way, hit the like button, subscribe button. Yes, I know I typically have more of a setup, but figured I would do something a little different here out in the patio and enjoying a Saturday night. So if you're discovering the Score North Twin Show, hit the like button, subscribe button for Minnesota Twins content. Sometimes we'll burn it down like we're doing on my solo stove. If they want to sponsor the Score North Twin Show too, please let me know. So in the eighth inning, Twins are up 2-0. Bailey Ober has retired 15 guys in a row and is at 83 pitches. And the Twins elect, and I'm just going to assume Rocco here, Rocco elects to put in Jhoan Duran, who has struggled in non-save situations. Duran gets beat around a little bit, puts runners on, allows one in. Then they go to Griffin Jax, who's probably their best reliever this season. So now all of a sudden you pulled the starter who was on cruise control for retiring 15 guys in a row, and you put a guy in Duran who has struggled mightily this season outside of save situations, and it blows up in your face. Twins came into this game having lost 12 of 18. The vibes are pretty damn low. We do State of the Twins every Monday, and the vibes have been pretty low considering where the Twins have been with all the injuries and all the losses. And the playoffs are around the corner in 3 weeks. But my God, we've had contenders for worst losses of the season over these last 18, 19 games. This one might take the cake. I mean, Kansas City's now, a game and a half up on you. I think the Twins' chances of catching Cleveland, even with 4 games to play here coming up in the next week and a half, that seems pretty nil. Carlos Correa with Ken Rosenthal reporting that, yes, he's running and it's the best he's felt, but the plantar fasciitis can obviously flare up at any time. And the Twins now find themselves having lost back-to-back games to Kansas City. Yes, they hold the tiebreaker against them in the event that both these teams do finish with the same record, but that's not a conversation for right now. The conversation is what the hell just took place at Kauffman Stadium. Bailey Ober has made a great case this season against everyone but Kansas City, and it looked like tonight for the first time in his career, he had figured out the Royals, who have just absolutely punished him throughout his career. He was in line for his first career win against Kansas City, and for whatever reason, they pull him. I get it. It's 2-0. You have 6 outs to play. When you have a guy who's on cruise control like that, having sent down 15 men in a row, what is the overthinking that's taking place? And if they had bridged this from Jackson to Duran, I think I understand this more. I think I would understand that more. Instead, you put in the guy who has struggled in non-save situations. I hate to just automatically, with obviously no access and not availability to talk to Rocco tonight, but is that a Rocco decision? Is that a coaching staff front office decision, as Rocco being an extender? I like to believe that the manager makes that decision. And if that was Rocco's decision, what are we doing? And that's about the 3rd or 4th time over these 18, 19 games that it really feels like the Twins have shot themselves in the foot with their own managerial decisions, which does not give you a lot of faith come playoff time. I like Rocco Baldelli. We had a big talk on the last Score North Twin Show on Friday with Mackie and Judd. I think he is a very good baseball mind. I don't know where this decision comes from, but at the end of the day, either you keep Bailey Ober in the damn game or you bring in Griffin Jax, who's your best reliever, and not put in the guy. I know he throws 100, and we all love Duran, but the guy stinks in non-save situations, and you put the guy who is not effective in non-save situations in the 8th inning. Twins have a chance here to finish this road trip, come back home. There's 2.5, 3 weeks left in the season. Yes, and I said that on Friday, that there's time just so kind of right the ship here and put yourself in a position where you're getting hot and you're peaking at the right time, and maybe things will look good by the time the playoffs start. But right now, the Twins are literally limping into the playoffs because the rest of the American League is terrible, and they have given you zero positive string of games over the last 3 weeks. And that is a concern, man. And great that Ken Rosenthal had the update on Carlos Correa. We still don't know. There's still no, timeline of when he returns to play. Byron Buxton hip flares up. That's obviously a big issue too. You're without two of your star players. It was interesting that on the broadcast, even they were kind of ripping Royce Lewis for maybe not even making that play where Brooks Lee had to come in on a bare hand and make just basically a circus-like play just to try to get the out. He ends up throwing it away. And I know Kyle Farmer was in at first because Carlos Santana had to leave the game due to illness. But it's not just raining, it's pouring. It is shooting yourself in the foot over and over and over again. And yes, players are playing, coaches coach, managers manage, as Lou Nanny loves to say. But it just certainly feels like nothing is going right for the Twins. And hopefully they can figure some stuff out here, because right now the vibes have already been a little weird with this Twins season. They got off to a slow start. Then they turned out to be one of the best teams in baseball over about a 3-4 month stretch. And the fan base in Minnesota, at least, kind of has had a reserved outlook on them because of the PR outlook on the payroll, the lack of availability or lack of activity, I should say, at the MLB trade deadline. And here you are, having lost now, 13 of 19 games. I mean, I expect if the Twins host a playoff game that place will be packed, just like it was against Toronto. But man, the time is kind of running out to build some morale back for a lot of Minnesota sports fans who have a lot of pent up frustration with this Twins team. I hope they can do it. I hope they can get Byron Buxton and Carlos Correa back and healthy. I would love for them to be healthy and active. I feel a lot better about this team if those two dudes are ready to go by the time the playoffs start. But Carlos Correa hasn't played in 2 months. Byron Buxton's hip flared up. You got Royce Lewis, who is basically ripping the coaching staff and organization for having to play second base. Again, just a very interesting time to be a Twins fan. And hopefully, they figure this out. But pretty rough way to lose a Saturday night ball game on national TV too, by the way, and Fox. The great Corey Probus got the play-by-play call. Love that for Corey. But it rains, it pours right now for the Twins. Good thing it's week 1 for the Vikings, because they always come through, right? Purple Daily coming up tomorrow on Ventline. Super excited for that as well. Again, this is the Score North Twin Show. We're burning it down here in the burbs. Where's my phone? We're burning it down here in the burbs. If you're burning it down metaphorically, do so responsibly. I'm Declan Goff. Hit the like button, subscribe button. Shout out to 150 of you listening and watching this live on the Score North YouTube channel. Probably no extra innings tomorrow due to the Vikings game, but we will have a State of the Twins on Monday. And boy, it's probably going to be a doozy with Mackie, Judd, and myself, and a Trevor Plouffe Tuesday as well on Tuesday. So thank you guys. This is the Score North Twin Show. Burn it down.